All right. Hey guys, this is Mike, and welcome to the Perfect Cast TV. This is our official first video, and we're going to be showing a few summer tips and tricks, especially on the Tennessee River. We're going to introduce everybody, welcome you to our channel. Right here we have Cooper. He's my almost 3-year-old bloodhound. Right, bub? Digging in my stuff right now. I pulled everything out of storage and brought it inside to do all these videos for y'all. So it's not a beginner how-to guide. It's not go out and show you how to do things initially. This is for guys that already know what they're doing, for the collectors, for tournament anglers, or guys that just want to have something to watch. They're bored and want a little laugh every once in a while, which we'll have all kinds of videos, and we'll do some challenges. We have a mullet challenge coming up. We have a Stanford challenge coming up. We have all kinds of stuff. You'll see. But this is our first official video, and once again, my name's Mike. Waylon's not here right now, but he's our video editor. He does all the music for all the videos, along with his buddy Cody Keener, which you'll see the quality of music, the quality, and we're still working on the video stuff, so bear with us there. But to start, I'm gonna get my favorite box out. It is, a lot of guys will say the fall. I say year round for these, because you have, and they're of course discontinued. Pull this box out, zoom in, and I'll show you all a little bit of it. And they are Lucky Craft Big Daddy Strike 1, 2, and 3, and there's even 2.2s, 1.2s. But my favorite's the 2, the size 2, which some of my favorite colors, especially in the summertime when the water's more clear, you'll have more of this one's Ghost Sunfish, I believe. You can see BDS2 there, and I've upgraded all the hooks to KVD triple grips. So even these, the Ghost Tennessee Shads, Ghost Pro Blues, and even Brian Thrift used this 2017 on Gunnersville. He used the Ghost Violet, which I can't find anywhere, and he won't give up. Brian, I'd pay you $80 to $100 for that lure, but you won't give it up. So they range from 35 to 100. Let's see, there's all kinds. But that's by far my favorite. There's even the one size. Let me get some out. This one, of course, I changed the hooks out on that. This one's Ghost Chartreuse Shad. By far my favorite right there. And it just kills them. And of course, they're eating crawls real good. If I can even get this out. Some of those colors. So that's by far number 1. My number 2 would be several Stanfords. See, Stanford box. So it would be the Patriot Shad, which is about the same size as a 1.5 square bill KVD, but it's a Stanford. It's cedar. It's not balsa. It's more durable. Of course, you can see I changed the hooks and split rings out on those too. Some of my favorite colors during the summer. Of course, that, and you have Tennessee Shad, which is especially on the Tennessee River, Tennessee Shad color. Then you even have some shallow razors in the Tennessee Shad. It's a flat side, of course. When the water's cooler, it's ideal, but you can still use them. See y'all. That's my number 2. These are also, they don't make these, hard to find. Dieter Stanford won't give them up. I got lucky in getting this myself. Those, number 2, Stanford. So my number 3, another Lucky Craft, be the 1.5, which you have the RC 1.5, the RTO 1.5, the LC 1.5. So the RC is by far my favorite. Rick Clunn, which they have even the rattling. They have the dual rattle system, and then which is kind of like a hard knock, one knocker. Then they have the silent, which is my favorite. That color there. See, it's got some. See, I've caught a few on that. Let's just say that. And then even the Excaliburs, which is the exact same thing, just they transferred everything, just like Excalibur XT3, the jerkbait, is almost the same as a Lucky Craft 78. So the same thing, Excalibur XCS 100 is pretty much the same as a Lucky Craft 1.5. The Excalibur brand just doesn't exist anymore. So that, of course, I recommend changing the hooks and split rings out on those too. You can even, on some of these, if you wanted to run a little more shallow, grind the bill down. And the rocks will naturally do that for you. But you can see a big difference there on ground down and just normal. And I actually like the action on these. You can see how the square is a little more rounded right here because it's worn down from the rocks. I actually like the action on these more. That's number 3, Lucky Craft 1.5. Number 4, with the Strike King, of course. KVD won his 25th on this past year. Is the Strike King 1.5. Also like the 1.0s if you're a smaller bait fish. I'll show you the difference between the two. You also have the shallow, where it runs a little more shallow. That's the 1.5, and this is 1.0, just a little bit smaller. You can see, very similar to the Lucky Craft 1.5, the Excaliburs, excuse me, all those others. And definitely highly recommend changing the hooks and the split rings out on these too. Y'all know when something's mass produced, they're not going to put good quality hooks on it, so you have to change them out. And plus, even throughout a tournament, if they're grinding in the rocks, have to change them out because you will lose some. These, see how, and I add a little, let's see how much I've used that one. That's one of my favorites. I put KVD triple grips on them. Size 6 or size 4. Sometimes a size 2, like KVD does. He used a brown crawl with size 2 KVD triple grips and won this past year, I believe, on Grand Lake 2018, his 25th. So number 4, Strike King 1.5. And then last but not least, which is actually more expensive than a Strike King 1.5, have the Jackal, which you have the 50, 60, and 70. 50s a little different. So you have the 50, 60, which these you don't really have to change the hooks out. They're sticky out of the package. But sometimes I will. So they're the difference. 50 on the bottom, 60 in the middle, 70 on the top. The 70 is kind of like a 200 or 2.5 size, and then this is exact same. I mean, 1.5. You have the circuit board lip. Let's see if I can get a better. Just subtle differences with these. Little different action on those Jackal Askas. So that's what it is. It's a Jackal Aska square bill, 50, 60, and 70 size. That's my number 5. And really kind of a number 6 or a runner-up, so to speak, would be grab it. See if I can find it. This is a Megabass. Grab this out. All the noise that we can. Is a Megabass square bill 1.2. So I like these. It's an S crank is what it is. See there. And I love these as well. I also changed the hooks and the split rings out. I like the 1.2 here on Tennessee River, smaller bait fish, except for Guntersville and those other places, but I'm here on Fort Loudon, so I'm stuck with smaller bait fish and smaller fish in general. And right now they're on ledges since summertime. So we'll move to that. Top 5, maybe 6. You have square bill action there. And we're moving to just general summer baits. Let me put these up. My top summer bait. Here on ledges, humps, 8-inch bullworm, red bug, plum apple. And what I do instead of big old shaky head, I'll actually put it on a big wobble head. And I have a guy that makes these for me. It's a big, half ounce, 3/4 ounce, sometimes a full ounce. But it's with the Owner 6 or 7/0 hook right there. That way, still, once it bites down, even if it's further back in the worm, like some instances, they just sometimes pull the whole worm, pull the back off. This, come and grab that. See how it's set up? And that is by far my favorite summer bait right there. And then that's my number 1. And that's because I can cast that a mile. I can really do what I want with it, drag it. When you're dragging it, you can just pause, you can kind of do your thing. But a wobble head, ideally, you're dragging it the entire time. Number 2, put this up here. Be a deep diver, and you have plenty. I like the Azumas. I do like the Cloud9s. I like the SKT 120 mags. I like, of course, Strike King 10XD, 8XD. But I like my absolute favorite will be these Z-Bosses. Got some of them. Now, ideally, you do want every size, the 10s, the 20s, 22s, 24s, 25s. Not even custom painted and gel coated some. Don't tell nobody that one. That's a sneak peek right there. Now, this one, Blue Moon, is by far my favorite color. This is the Z-Boss 20. And you can see hydrodynamics allows this crankbait to dive quicker without resistance, with little resistance. So you're not really winding and winding. It's not going to kill you all day cranking this. So that Z-Boss 20, variety of colors. That's another favorite, Grand Lake. And then you have the Big Daddy, the 25, which Grand Lake and Blue Moon, of course, my favorite colors, especially on the Tennessee River. And just these dive to 25, 24, 25, depending on the line. I use 10 to 12 pound test on these. Sometimes I'll bump it up to 15 with the Z-Boss 25s if there's a lot of rocks. If I'm not really too worried, I'm still hitting the bottom, I'll bump it up to 15. You can see the difference there. 25 on the bottom, 20 on the top. And these are the old school ones, one of the first productions. They do not have the numbers on the bottom. And you can see the newest ones actually do have the numbers on the bottom that tell you what model it is. But these don't. So I got these right when they came out, and very hard to find. Tim Horton, Randy Haynes knew what they were doing when they were designing these. Nothing like them on the market. You can see why they're out of stock every time you go and try to buy them. Hard to find. And I actually put size 2, 1/0, 2/0 hooks, and it's just depending on what your preference is. There's that custom one again. See the gel coat on that, and that's just Tennessee shad type of color. Just something that I like. I paint on a lot of lipless, deep divers, square bills. I paint that color on. And the runner-up deep divers. I know this is number 2 still. Runner-up would be the 10XD, because they once again have that weight transfer system like the Z-Boss does. It makes you cast that thing a mile. And these I even custom paint as well. That 10XD there. These go the same depth, about 22, 23, 24, depending on the line size. There's my Tennessee kind of shad color again. That's custom. Here's the one I've recently done. It's kind of like a blue and chartreuse, but it's a lot different. You can see my finger there of, I don't even remember, shut a door on it or something. Hell if I know. But I've even with the stock one is a chartreuse and black, chartreuse black back. I've added blue glitter. I mean, it's a gel coat process that I do. Silver, blue, light blue, just to make it kind of like a DD, an older DD22 with that gel coat, professional edge type of DD22. Adds a little weight to it, not much, but it does definitely makes it more durable. My gel coat process. That runner up number 2. Number 3, summer baits. We're gonna go finesse. Just because jig will be next. I like finesse. This, a Zoom Trick Worm on a shaky head. And this specifically is a Booza. It's a Stan Sloan Zorro Booza head, which I like. It just kind of comes through brush better. See the head design on it. Different head design than the usual. It's not a stand-up head. It's kind of rounded. So you can kind of use it multi-purpose, even for, especially like a Rage Crawl smaller. Just put that on there if you want a little more subtle finesse approach. That's number 3. Of course, you can even, there's another Booza, but with a baby brush hog. So just some type of a shaky head with a brush hog, a trick worm, some type of creature bait. I mean, whatever you want to really put on a shaky head. That's number 3, summer baits. Number 4, especially when the water's dingy, early in the morning, shad spawn maybe going on, you see busting the surface. Top water. I know I was gonna grab a swim bait, so that's a kind of another kind of runner up. But top water, a spook. Let me pull some of my favorites out here. Of course, you have Zara Spook, you have the Super Spook Juniors, you have all the, the Vixens, Reaction Innovation. So that would be my go-to, the Vixen there. And bone color, or even a bluegill. Just, I don't even want to try to get them apart. You don't even really have to change the hooks out on that. I also like the Jackal bow stick. So just a spook in general, you have so many out there. And then a smaller one, especially with the bait fish are smaller, I step it down to a Super Spook Junior. These, be careful when you're upgrading the hooks. Don't want to use too heavy, especially on that back one, because it'll just make it go like that. For this, Mustad KVD triple grips, Super Spook Junior, and it is. You can call them up, and then I even add instead of tying straight braid to it, or go braid to a mono leader, or even a loop knot, I'll actually add a snap. I was trying to think of it. I don't know why I couldn't. My bloodhound's getting into stuff right now. Quit! No. There's. See that? It just gives it a better action. You can actually tie a straight braid to that. I use, depending on where I am, usually I just go mono, 10-pound mono. And it's fine with me. Just preference, really. And then you have the old Zara spooks. The old spooks there. Then even the Zara puppies. I'll even go to the smaller sizes there. But number 4, definitely topwater spook. So what? Some type of walking bait, which you're walking the dog, like that. Number 5. To me, because also topwater spook, which I should added the 4, a popper, which you have Excalibur. I like the XE2, XE3s, discontinued. I like that popper. I also like the Labina Rico. I like the old school Rebel, P70, P90s. I like those too. And then number 5, be some sort of swim bait. Out deep, you can fish them shallow. See if I can find that box. There it is. Swim baits. I do like the Kitex, the Bass Pro Speed Shads. I like the Zooms. These specific, I actually like an underspin. This one's weedless, and I've added a gold blade to it. This one's a Bass Pro Shop Speed Shad. I think it's a 3.8, I believe. And then like Trocar has great hooks for swim baits. Then you have Strike King Squadron. You have the big old Big Daddies. And then underspins, you can even have the little Kitex. This one's ideal for round docks, smaller bait fish. This is on a Squadron. Again, that's a Kitech. And also even a Scrounger. Or even something like this that's a fluke style, or it's just you can do several things with that. Underspins. Just something that's imitating a shad. For number 5, we have swim baits, out deep, underspins. And that's number 5 there. Always getting into something. Swear to God. Word to the wise, if you're getting a bloodhound, run them, wear them out. Because they're troublemakers, especially at night when they're supposed to be out doing hunting stuff nocturnally, if that's even a word. Like blue ticks, they have more energy because they're used to coon hunting and stuff like that at night. They're nocturnal, they have more energy. So right when I get home from work, right when I get home from off the lake, he's ready to play. Just wear him out, and then he'll lay down, chew a bone, do his thing. Come here, bud. Come here. Come say hey to everybody. Come here. Plus they're stubborn as a mule. He won't even come over. Come here. Hey. Get over here. Hey. Cool. Look right here. Oh, what's that? He's got. Hang on. Hang on. He's got a hold of something. What do you have? Hey. What do you have? What's in your mouth? See, what are you doing? And he actually could have eaten this. He didn't even eat it. It's a peanut butter filled pretzel, and he's running around the room with it, acting like it was a sock or something. All right. That we have square bills. We have top summer baits. What should we do next, y'all? What do you think? Come say hey. Come here. Look right here. Of course, he don't eat that. That's cool. Especially when I come out with Bloodhound Bait Company, he'll be the mascot. It's some type of new technology that releases scent. And has a special scent for all the soft plastics and stuff like that. That'll be coming out here within the next few years, working on the patents and the licensing for that. And I believe that concludes our video, The Perfect Cast TV, one of our first videos here, really the first video, the welcoming video, just to show y'all really what our channel is going to be about. It's not for the beginner. I mean, it can be. You can watch it, have fun with it, laugh every once in a while. We'll do some challenges for y'all, beginner challenges, but it is for the really tournament anglers, guys that already know what they're doing. I mean, you can see I'm obsessed with it. That's the guys, that's who I'm reaching out. That's my main audience, would be the same guys as me, pretty much, because I've watched these videos growing up. I just kind of bring something new, something updated to y'all, and also introduce y'all to everyone I know. And what do you want? You gonna interrupt my video again? You gonna go to your crate. But that concludes our video, guys. Perfect Cast TV. Stick with us. Stay tuned here on the Perfect Cast TV.